Welcome back to the second in the series of looking at competency profiles. Today we're going to be looking at the competency profile of a senior data engineer, actually she. So this is a female senior data engineer. And the opening statement reads, I'm a big data specialist with 6+ years of professional experience in data ingestion, data integration, and data transformation. With ETL tools using SQL and PySpark for merchandise, pharmaceutical, and banking applications. I work well with business stakeholders, and I can translate business requirements into technical requirements. I'm certified with Databricks PySpark as an associate developer. So what you see here in this competency profile, which has this typical T-shape that we like to use, is 4 keywords. In the middle, as deep expertise, big data and databases. And to the side, cloud and programming. So cloud infrastructure services and programming as in coding activities. What this gives you is a senior data engineer profile where you can see that she is really deep into engineering tasks and really deep into engineering tasks of handling data and databases, including cloud infrastructures. So the current way of doing things. Now, as always, I'm going to be spending a maximum of 10 minutes introducing this data competency profile and then taking any questions that you might have. We look at competency profiles to try and understand what career paths are for data professionals. Today, we're looking at an engineering profile, a data engineering profile. We might also be looking at a data scientist, a machine learning engineer, an analytics engineer, a computer vision person. So just simply different forms of data competency profiles. We always look at a specific individual one, because after all, it's always a person, and it's that person enjoying a career in the field. We want to understand what's specific about that person's competency profile, while also kind of taking a broader look and understanding what might be more shared, right? So when we talk about the T-shaped competency profile in the data profession, this notion of the T-shaped competency profile has been around ever since the beginning. So in 2010, 11, 12, at the very start of the profession, and before the article was published naming the data scientist the sexiest profession of the 21st century, it was already clear that data professionals kind of share a certain practice. And you can, for example, think of this as the workflow, right? From data generation or data ingestion or data processing, all the way to performance monitoring of models in production in some form of continuous integration and continuous deployment. So, the whole value chain, the whole workflow, there are ways in which you're familiar with this and you may have done tasks, so there's a certain breadth to it. But of course, roles are different. So a data engineer no longer does what a data scientist does. And even among the engineering roles, there's a difference between a data engineer working on machine learning data and an analytics engineer supporting pipelines for business reporting. So these roles are being differentiated. And then, of course, it's your own individual competency profile in that. And some of the keywords or some of the activities will be shared, but for you to enhance your career, to get a promotion, to make the next step, to find the next new challenge, to grow personally, it is, of course, important to understand where you are now and where you'll be going over the next 12 to 24 months. So, deep expertise here, big data and databases. For big data, we have 6+ years data integration of 1 terabyte of data from Teradata, CSV, JSON, feed file into Hadoop and to Azure Blob storage. So really a clear emphasis of handling large amount of data, including possible destinations here at Hadoop and Azure. That already tells you that she's been in the field for a while. And then data deployment of PySpark using Jenkins. Automated batch processing models running daily and weekly. So look at this in terms of, it gives a clear indication. So it says, look, I've been doing data integration for 6+ years. I can handle terabytes. I am familiar with various services and file formats. I've used kind of like certain data warehouse solutions. I actually do automated batch processing daily and weekly. So, there's a real frequency to my work. Yeah. So I'm deep into this. This is my daily bread and butter. I've done this for a long time. And in some sense, right, I've seen it all. Then on the other hand, we have databases, and it says here 5 years Oracle, SQL, and MySQL, Neptune database for optimization and reporting purposes, query optimization for execution time, data validation with Talent tool for checking quality and accuracy. So this is really then deep into databases, the various functions of databases, uses of databases, various database providers, and ways of doing this. Just simply also to say that, I've been doing this for a very long time. I focus on optimization and reporting stuff, and I really am a proficient user. Well, now we combine this on the side with cloud. So you will have seen the mention of Oracle and Hadoop. Shows somebody's been around for a longer while. It's also, of course, true that some of these tools and services are still very much in use across industry. And then we all know that has been and will continue to be a movement towards cloud providers. So we also have here 3 years AWS and Azure for data processing and deployment. Implemented 5 data pipelines using Azure Data Factory for processing data from different sources. So now this is a clear statement. I've been around for a longer while, but I've also, kind of like upgraded my skills. I'm abreast of the market, and I have practical experience with cloud solutions, and I know how to build and run your pipelines in that kind of environment. And then on the other side, programming, Python and Pandas for data flattening and integration, PySpark for data processing and integration, for example, null values filtration and partition reduction. So also just simply to say, I'm familiar with databases. I can build data pipelines. I can do this working on the cloud infrastructure. And I also have programming skills. I have software skills. So there's a way in which I cannot just, plug and play, click and match, put stuff together. You can actually ask me to build things from scratch. You can ask me to build your own customized solution. I can actually help you to get stuff into production in terms of these of data processing and pipelines, and I can do it to specific requirements, and I won't get lost if it's not just a plug and play on some platform. So substantial kind of like software engineering, programming skills, experience of knowing how to do this. Okay. All of this then comes together by adding sort of like a profile statement, right? So you need to imagine that this whole thing is something you would present to a manager, to a hiring manager, to a senior executive, possibly to a recruiter, and they need to be able to understand who you are professionally very fast. They see these 4 keywords, they can check these columns, and then there's kind of like this profile statement. You could think of this as a summary statement giving the whole thing some direction, and it kind of says, I'm a big data specialist with 6+ years of professional experience in data ingestion, data integration, data transformation, and so on. So it kind of like maps out the breadth of expertise, not just experience, but really expertise, and then names some specific tools that are important for this. And here again, you have the competency profile as a whole for you to kind of like take in and take a quick look at. So as I mentioned, this is a senior data engineer. She's been working in Germany, and you can see her overall professional experience is 6-7 years in the field. So my 10 minutes are up. I'm going to now look at the chat and see if I have any incoming questions that you would like me to answer. Okay, I can see overall that we have quite a lot of viewers, but I don't yet actually see any particular questions. So let me know if you have any questions. Okay, as I can see, the number of participants are going up. Just for all of you, a reminder. So this is happening every Thursday. It's happening in a real fast format. We start around 1 p.m. Central European time, like 2 to 3 minutes in. We have a 10-minute presentation of a particular competency profile, and then I move on to Q&A for another like maximum of 5 to 10 minutes. So this is always a max of 15 to 20 minutes on a Thursday lunchtime for you. Okay, thank you very much for today. See you next week.